Okay. I got a bone to pick with a certain newspaper printed here in Vegas. But, just a warning, this will be an angry video. Because I'm gonna read their their view, the Review Journal's view of what happened on January 6, 2021. Keep in mind, this paper endorsed Donald Trump in 2016 and endorsed him again last year. And my anger will be understood. The Review Journal's view. A dark and extraordinary day in American history. The disturbing rampage in and around the Capitol building that shocked the national conscience on Wednesday was not a political protest. You think? It was a disgrace. It was not a defense of democracy and the Constitution. It was an attack on them. It was an attack on them. It was not an attack. It was not an act of patriotism. It was an act of criminality in service to conspiratorial delusion. Oh! And you didn't know that this whole time? You didn't know what these past 2 months have been about this whole time? Oh! Those involved succeeded in only debasing the very principles they claim to revere. Yeah, you can hear it in the videos. President Donald Trump did himself and the country no favors by inflaming his supporters earlier in the day with a speech implying Congress would overturn the November election results. Remember, that was his goal, and the goal of everybody in that crowd. For a lie. That the liar eventually believed himself. And once the violence began, he followed that up with a vainglorious and tepid Twitter statement that left much to be desired and came far too late. That's absolutely true. And never sent the National Guard, even though he took credit for it later, of course. That was because of Christopher Miller, acting defense secretary. He's the one who actually called them the National Guard. It fell to President-elect Joe Biden, and by the way, they never even called Trump. He had the power. They didn't even bother calling him. They knew what he was going to say. It fell to President-elect Joe Biden to say what needed to be said. Let me be very clear. Mr. Biden said in a hastily called news conference, "The scenes of chaos at the Capitol do not reflect the true America. Do not represent who we are. I'm genuinely shocked and saddened that our nation, so long a beacon of hope and light for democracy, has come to such a dark moment." He added, "America's about honor, decency, respect, tolerance. That's who we are. That's who we've always been." I agree with him. There's just a lot of bad actors out there right now trying for their own self-gain to destroy that. A few hours after demonstrators breached the Capitol, photos showed insurgents sitting in House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's office and at the Senate dais, while one woman was shot and killed. The situation had calmed somewhat. Hold up. Let me pause. I should have reacted to this. Now they're being seemingly sounding positive about Biden. This is the editorial board. They endorsed Donald Trump twice. And anytime I'd read this paper, by the way, it did not used to be this way. This partisan. Fucking Adelson. I fucking knew it. Fuck you, Adelson. Fuck you. The shady fucking way you tried to purchase this paper. Oh, so many sins since before I even bought this once good paper. Now they're all of a sudden seeing Joe Biden as a good guy. Okay. Alright, back to this. The situation had calmed somewhat. As darkness fell, DC and Capitol Police, who appeared wholly unprepared for the unfortunate events, so yeah, heads are gonna roll for that, finally became more aggressive, not literally of course, and succeeded in moving the crowd to disperse. There will be a time down the road to determine how these violent vandals were able to overrun vital government buildings virtually without resistance. I made a video not that long ago about how I discovered that. And yeah, I was shocked that they managed to get in. I did not expect that. The Capitol is easy to barge in by an A-Green mob. And Black Lives Matter earlier this year, how forceful they were with them. Brew. If they had dealt with them with the same savagery and brutality of the earlier BLM protests, this shit they would have never stepped one toe in that building. Not 1 inch. Fuck, where was I? Were able to overrun vital government buildings virtually without resistance. But in the meantime, yeah, some of them didn't resist at all. They took selfies. Those who broke the law need to be identified and punished under all applicable statutes. And guess what? Some of them have been caught. There's a video I saw of the West Virginia state lawmaker getting arrested, put in cuffs while he's wearing a gray hoodie and jeans out of his house, and his grandma approaches the camera, who claims that her grandson is a good man, and then says, thanks, Trump, for invoking a riot or inciting. I heard that audio was not good, but you can get the gist of what she said. Trump's evil has corrupted a man, a very, very beloved family member. Only this one is having to pay the price.